Brother, what the hell is up? BitConnect. Some of these angry. Yo, 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 yo. Tweet Blue Sky, the Discord. Bam. Bam. How's everybody doing? Yo, Daddy Fish, how you doing? What's up? What's up, everybody? Been looking through this Twitter stuff. Yeah, I was talking about it yesterday, but I was gonna stream yesterday and chat about it, and then it was like 70 degrees outside, so I shot pucks for a couple hours instead because it was fucking beautiful outside.
Check.
So I didn't stream. We were doing so good too. I don't think this drama's not like. This is, in my opinion, not a legitimate grievance here. It's a non-story, effectively, in my opinion. What's up, everybody? Don't out me for my Destiny Bulletin reply. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. Rage bait thumbnail clickbaited me. Let's go! We got Hoon! Yes. Yes. No, this is about the fucking, I do want to talk about this. I'm gonna wait until people get in here, but this is about this. The fact that Bungie themselves cannot play Red War right now. And I don't think it's actually as black and white as that. But everyone was like freaking out like this was like new information. And it's not. Like we've known this to be a fact for literally years. So classic Twitter moment really, but yeah, the Red War thing. So I want to talk about it. I have to wait a second. This isn't the Talk to a podcast. Yeah, bet you're fucking. What do you mean? It totally is. But I also have to grind out like a fuck ton of Nether triumphs, and it's kind of boring. So I figured, you know, I'd stream that. We'd chat. We'd talk a little bit. So. And then I'm gonna make a video on the best way to cheese the Nether triumphs because they're actually pretty fucking grindy. And Gaul was the best villain besides Savathun, Orcs, and Megamind. I'd put Rolk above Gaul. Is your shirt an ARG? This is a marathon shirt, but it says USEC or UESC. I always call it USEC because that's way easier than saying it's the USC, UESC, United Earth Space Command or something. This is a marathon shirt, but it's not an ARG, no. It's the shirt, well, it's one of the shirts they sold after the ARG, but, I don't know a lot of marathon lore, so I don't really know what that means. It was kind of embarrassing when I went and they were like, oh, so what do you know about marathon? I was like, literally nothing. I know nothing about the marathon universe. I believe Red War should be playable. I believe that would be a complete and utter waste of time, personally, but. Can't wait for the Doomer content creators to post video saying Bungie says they'll never bring back faulty content. Have they not already? I feel like they would have done that yesterday. I cannot stress enough like how much of a waste of time it would be to rework the Red War campaign entirely. This is how you all should know. So like what they say here, and we can read through this later, but what they say here that people were freaking out about, Bungie did archive the original game code. The rapid evolution of Destiny 2's underlying technology means that the Red War campaign is completely incompatible with the game's current operational framework. Even if Bungie wanted to bring it back, it would probably have to be rebuilt from scratch rather than simply reactivated. And so like everyone was like pretending like we didn't already know that. I have been literally saying that for fucking years, okay? like 5-6 years. Because every time someone's like, oh, they should just make the Red War the New Light experience. You can go back to any time I've ever talked about this, because it's been like 758 million times. I always say they'd have to completely remake it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it for something people would play once. Yo, Arsko, what's up? So, like, we knew this. I've been saying this for years. There was I remember this, where they hired like a good amount of contractors specifically right before Beyond Light to rebuild the content, and then a lot of them didn't get hired back, and it was like a thing. I remember it specifically being a thing. So that's like, if people are freaking out about this, they just haven't been paying attention. That's just it. So let's just remember that nobody will play it after one time. Yeah, exactly. It is such a wasted development time to bring that shit back. Yo, Sweeney, thank you for the 46 months. Arska, did I thank you for the 30? Arska, thank you for the 30. Give me Levy Inspire back. I do agree with this. I'm not a fan of bringing a lot of content back. I do agree that old raids should be brought back. I will never, ever, ever argue with that. I think a lot of the old strikes should be brought back. I think that'd be good. I just don't know what that like workflow looks like. I don't know like how much, like if they want it. And it said likely be reworked. So like, I'm not sure if everything really needs to be rebuilt from the ground up, or if it's like a specific, you know, logic or whatever that needs to be rebuilt. Like because the thing that, you know, I'm not a game designer, and I always preface saying this. The thing that always confuses me is like, there were definitely instances like, I'm trying to think of like a really good example. I know this happened and I can't think of an example. Maybe you guys can think of an example. Where, you know, like there was a piece of content like a strike or something, and then there was a bug, and then Bungie fixed it. And then after the engine rework in Beyond Light, the bug like reappeared. I think there were like oobs in raids that like re-popped up or something. I know that was a thing. Whereas like there was a glitch, they fixed it, the rework happened, they rebuilt everything, and then the glitch was back. And it's like, so clearly there's some like old version that they're able to like base things off of or whatever. Pit of Heresy got the oobs undone. There you go. Yeah, I knew there were like examples of that. So I don't think it's like necessarily they have to go in and remake everything pixel by pixel. Like I think there's like a previous framework that they're able to use and update or something. Like I don't really know like what that looks like. But it's not, we have known forever that it's not just right click add to game. Red War would be amazing for onboarding new players. Why? Like, why is Red War more amazing for onboarding players than literally any other campaign?
Hit back, killer. Run him down.
A lot of oobs from Destiny 1 raids still existed in Destiny 2. Yeah, like stuff like that. If you went from the Witch Queen campaign to the Red War campaign, you'd quit the game immediately. I don't know if it would be that drastic, but yes, there would be. I think people, like, this always happens with old Destiny content. People have this, like, huge, you know, nostalgia bias or whatever. But, like, yeah, the quality of campaigns back then was quite significant. Like, pre-Witch Queen it's a cliff of quality. Like, I say this about the, like I think Menagerie is a really good example of this. I don't really think Menagerie would hold up in today's game that well. It would hold up better than something like Forges, for instance, but like, we've had so many Menagerie lights that just don't, people don't like them. They're fine, you know? Because it's the actual starting point of the game. I can't tell you how many times I've had people say, why would I start playing the game when I can't play the original story? Well, Destiny 2 is not the original story. There's a whole beginning. But also none of that is like, with the exception, I was gonna say with the exception of Cade's death, but that doesn't even happen in the Red War. Like literally nothing in the Red War is relevant to what we're doing today. Like not even a little bit. There's 20 degrees of story separation between that and this. That's just a very silly thing to say. You know, even if all the content, well, if all the content, which to be clear, I cannot make this clear enough. I am also not a fan of the content vault. Like, to be incredibly clear, let me just state that plainly. I'm not a fan of the content vault at all. And I don't think it should have happened. I also don't think Destiny 2 should be a fucking decade old. You know what I mean? Like, I think there should have been a Destiny 3 at some point. But if you fucking think the game is overwhelming for new players now, imagine literally 30 to 40% more content on top of this. And then tell me in what world there is any chance of that having a better new player experience. That's just not, that is a delusional take. Callus wouldn't be present without the Red War? Like, very vaguely, though. Like, Callus isn't even mentioned in the Red War campaign, right? It's post-campaign, I believe. I think the first Callus mention was the Nessus adventure. But it's also been 5 years. Maybe I'm wrong there. Yo, what's up, Sylv? Red War is a better new player experience than anything we have so far. I completely disagree. I don't think it's better. I think it would be the same type of new player experience that we have right now, and would be even more overwhelming because there'd be more content. Once again, I'm not advocating for the DCV. I cannot clarify that point enough. I cannot clarify that enough. But the solution to the new player experience is not 40% more content in a fucking 20-year-old campaign. It's just not. That's delusional. That is an absurd opinion. That's right, Mighty Meme Tool. I forgot about, yeah, the collector's edition talked about was the collector's edition actually just like the 7 people or whatever that betrayed Callus? I feel like it was. Because it had the map of the of the Callus symbols and shit. Am I making that up? Was that not that? Wait, UV ink maybe? Like, oh my god, it's been so long since I've thought about all of this. I mean, Red War teaches you what the enemy factions are, which no other campaign does. That cool intro cutscene does. I remember going into Leviathan for the raid the first time. I was like, what the hell does this have to do with the story? To be fair, like, that's most of the raids in Destiny history. Very few raids, especially early on. Well, I guess I say that, but Callus, or Crota and Oryx were both very highly connected to the story. Axis sort of came out of nowhere. Atheon was a complete left field. Callus was out of left field. Argos, fucking Valkor, completely left field. Garden of Salvation, completely out of left field. Scourge of the Past, out of left field. Insurrection Prime. Oh, when I'm saying the raid names, I mean like the bosses of them. My cat is now in front of my, that's my cat's tail. Like most raids are just out of nowhere. Can I help you with something, cat? It's kind of rude to put your tail in front of the camera and then just fucking sit there, you know that? Oh, laying down right on my mouse hand. God, you are such a cute brat. Those plates don't ever seem to account for secrets. Oh, that's really good to know. It's a free small boon though, so that's kind of nice. Lots of cope here. Have you guys ever played the New Light experience recently? It's actually awful. Once again, like, I'm not saying it's good. I feel like as a culture, we have a really bad, like, fucking listening and like a comprehension problem. I'm not saying the current experience is good. I'm saying the Red War campaign would be equally as bad. Those are two different things. Those are two wildly different statements. In fact, mine is an acknowledgement that it's bad. All this is screaming at me that we should have Destiny 3. Yeah, I mean, no one's fucking saying that we shouldn't have. I think everyone, I guarantee, like 80% of the community, and I bet probably most of the devs agree with you. Like, how many games run for 10 years? You have to imagine there's a reason that there's not many games that run for 10 years. In terms of live games. In fact, what is it, like 3? World of Warcraft, Destiny, and Warframe? What other games have had consistent updates for a decade? You know, I guess like League of Legends and Smite, but those are different. Counter-Strike probably lasted a decade, Minecraft, but once again, those are different. But it's pretty rare. Bro, now my cat's fucking licking. Bro, you're disgusting. Why you gotta lick yourself right here? Can you go over there? Speaking of Warframe, 12th anniversary is next week, I believe. Well, I'm happy for you guys that play it. Disrespecting Guild Wars 2 is crazy. I didn't even know that was a fucking game. I don't even know what that means. It's just kind of insane. Like, what world? I just don't understand the thought pattern. I just don't see the viewpoint that would lead anyone to think that Bungie should bring back and rework Red War campaign as a New Light experience rather than just making a good New Light experience with new content. With things like the, you know, Guardian ranks, even though they suck for us, they're decent for that sort of thing. Or like that fucking sick cutscene that caught people up whenever the fuck that was, Witch Queen or whatever. I just don't understand. I do not understand. Hey, bring back this irrelevant 10-year-old piece of content, 7-year-old, 6-year-old piece of content, as a New Light experience, instead of like making a unique and like actually like an experience that is directly made to be a New Light experience. It's a very weird opinion. What cutscene are you talking about? It was the... 1 second. Let me find it. It's been a while since I've seen it. It was in one of their reveals. Maybe it was Lightfall? And it was sick. It like caught you up on the story of Destiny, and I was like, they should put that in the game. And then they put it in the game. That's all I know. I mean, it's not the best thing in the world. To be clear, we would not be having this conversation if the cutscene was perfect or whatever. You know what I mean? If it covered all the bases. But it did a hell of a lot better job than nothing at all. Because the original thought was refactoring old content is easier for Bungie. That's why the news is shocking, because it shows it's not. Nothing here. This, once again, this is like a reading comprehension thing. I don't understand. This does not mean it's not easier for them to bring back old content. I mean, come on. It clearly is easier for them to bring back old content than to make completely new, unique assets and content, okay? Even if they have to rebuild parts of it or whatever they have to do, it's clearly easier for them to bring back old stuff. Like, even just from the perspective of they don't have to think of new storylines or new environmental designs because they can just copy what's already there. It's like, there's not a war, like, come on, what are we doing here? I just don't, like, people just say the damnedest shit, bro. I just don't understand. I don't think it was the end of the light cutscene. Does anyone know the name of the new light cutscene? I swear they've talked about the old stuff being rebuilt in comparison to new stuff being the same time-wise. There's just no way. Once again, so much of dev time, guys. Like, we already know so much of dev time is concepting and you know, gray boxing and messing with things. If you have to come up with, let's say, a raid, and you have to come up with 4 new encounters, or you can just copy the 4 encounters from a previous raid, and you don't have to spend time concepting or anything, not a single person with a brain can sit there and tell me it takes the exact amount of same time of dev hours. Copying what has already been done and maybe slightly updating it versus coming up with 4 or 5 unique encounters and 2 or 3 transitions. Like, come on. Is it the end of the light cutscene? It might be that. I feel like it was older than Into the Light. There's so much of dev time that is not just making the final product.
What is a guardian?
I don't think it was this.
Are we gods? We are connected to the weft and
No,
weave of the universe.
it definitely was not this.
No one knows how long we live. We stand alongside those.
Is this what you see when you make a new account?
Gifts. We know intimately their lifespans, their mortality, despite their resilience.
Destiny Calls cutscene? And once again, I'm not saying this is the most perfect onboarding experience ever, but I think it was this one. I remember watching this for the first time and being like, oh, that's actually like pretty cool. They should put that in the game as the new light experience.
This universe is made of light.
Bruh, you turn captions on. What am I, an old person? What the fuck?
These ancient forces flow through all matter and energy in our solar system and beyond.
Okay, high key, this has some like real Destiny Rising energy, and I never realized it. Mostly because Destiny Rising wasn't a thing when this first came out.
But we haven't always known this. When the Traveler arrived in our solar system,
It's either
they
Tyra or
called it
Eva.
many things. A ship, a planet, a god.
Didn't Tyra die?
Its
Is Tyra Card not the one who fucking died in Festival of the Lost?
presence provoked and inspired great change. It terraformed several moons and planets.
Oh, that was Ives, that's
Our
right, okay.
lifespans increased threefold. And we launched colony ships to settle worlds beyond our own. This was our golden age. But like all golden ages, it was doomed to collapse. The Traveler was pursued by an ancient enemy. A voice in the darkness. It found us. Humanity lost everything.
It's a
With the
5-minute
last
cutscene,
of its
Jesus
strength,
Christ.
The Traveler pushed back its enemy to create something new. The ghosts. In the dark times that followed the collapse,
David, I think this is an excellent way. This is a very succinct and excellent way to put this. In a perfect world, all of the campaigns would still exist. But in the real world, I don't think adding them back would solve the new player experience. That is very eloquent. And that perfectly summarizes my exact points. I completely agree.
the ghosts chose the first.
You think ghosts can be
light
evil?
bearers.
Did you play Witch Queen?
Immortal warriors gifted with the power of the Traveler's light. Humanity faced many threats in those days.
I don't understand why having a
Invaders
fully
from
fleshed
the-
campaign as a new player experience is a bad idea. Red War is good, the music's amazing. I'm not saying it's okay. I can't do this anymore. If the United States is gonna insist on defunding public education, I can no longer be a fucking streamer, dude. I can't do this. I can't take it. Having a campaign as a New Light experience is not necessarily a bad thing. It's not a bad idea. Having that, I personally do not believe having that specific campaign being 7 years disjointed from where we are currently in Destiny does not add anything else to a New Light experience that any of the other campaigns would not also add. It doesn't have anything additional. There's nothing that makes it a better introduction to the world or this game than any of the other campaigns. Because that's not me saying any of the campaigns are good. That's me saying I think all of the options that we currently have for the New Light experience are equally bad.
Beyond our system arrived in droves. Pirates, called the Fallen, came to scavenge the remains of our golden age.
What should we do for a New Light experience? What are your thoughts, bro? Genuine question. Well, couple points here. You know, my job isn't necessarily to find, even though you can have valid complaints of something, does not mean that you should have valid solutions. And oftentimes you should leave the formulation of valid solutions to the actual experts, the developers. Two, in my honest opinion, the best New Light, like if you really care about onboarding new players or whatever, which I think personally Destiny should fall more into a niche, similar to other games that last this long, instead of trying to appeal to everybody. But if we are insistent on trying to get everyone in the world to play Destiny, the best thing you can do is make a Destiny 3.
Ball came for our territory and resources for conquest. The Hive, ravenous worshippers of death, came to feed their infernal hunger. And the vet.
I mean, come on. Someone's like, oh, the Red War is great because it actually introduces you to each of the factions and their motivations. I mean, this does this. It's not perfect, but that's not a bad description for fucking a 5-minute video. This cutscene is all telling, no immersion, like coming across Fallen for the first time. Yeah, and once again, it is not perfect. But I also don't think the Red War had the best version of that. Like, I think if you really want players to experience a fucking enemy type, doing something like the Navoda quest, where you go to the Cosmodrome, and it is parts of a Destiny 1 mission, but it's in a more, tooled way towards the new player experience, is a much better way to do that. Now, it's been a long time since I've played the New Light experience. I mean, fucking since it came out. I think the Hive are the only species they do that with, maybe? But there's better ways. There's not a single world that anyone that has completely thought through this thinks the Red War is better than a like specifically tailored experience. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. No, and once again, I've only said this 20 times. So JP, I'm gonna get to you in a second. I apologize. Thank you for the super chat. I'm gonna say this again because I've said it. Do I think this cutscene is perfect? Absolutely fucking not. But it is a good start. And as soon as I saw it, whenever they showed it off, Witch Queen or Lightfall or whatever the fuck, I was like, hey, that should be in the game. And I believe it is currently in the game. But once again, I haven't played the New Light experience since it came out. JP, thank you for the super chat. My biggest issue is that with this is the preservation of Destiny's experience. I can go back and play all the Destiny 1 as long as there are servers. Destiny 2 stops getting a complete experience. Yeah, sure. That is a valid complaint, and I think there are many industries where that applies: TV shows, movies, video games, whatever. That is not a unique Destiny problem. I think as we generate more and more and more and more content as a species, that is going to become increasing. And not only as we generate more content, but we make it increasingly profitable to write things off and cancel projects and pull them off of streaming services as tax write-offs, as we have seen with many movies and TV shows. This is going to be a growing issue for the human race. If that is something that really concerns you.
Strange living machines came to recreate our world in their own brutal image. we fought with each other as well. For a time, chaos reigned. Though in the end, we came together to rebuild, to heal.
David Zaslav looking at you exactly. Most normal man in the world, David Zaslav.
City of Earth. In this city, humanity lived peacefully in all its forms. The humans, Earth's original inhabitants. The Exos, marvels of the Golden Age. And the Awoken.
One second, I'm gonna go turn on my AC. This freaking cat is too cute. But she also makes my hands sweat. Okay. Not everyone in the world needs to play Destiny, but new people who would like to actually like the niche need to be able to find it and not be scared off by a bad start as a representative as a whole. I'm not sure if there's a correct way to introduce anyone to a 10-year-old franchise of anything. Think about any like media franchise that lasted that long. You get fucking Star Wars or like whatever across any sort of media. There is always like a soft reset point where people are supposed to get into it. That's like the whole purpose of the new trilogy of Star Wars and all this stuff. You know, there's always supposed to be a soft jumping off point so you don't have to enjoy all of Saga 1, 2, and 3 or Phase 1, 2, and 3 to get into Marvel, even though they actually didn't do a really great job. But you can start in Phase 4 because it's the end of the saga. Can I fucking help you? Meowing at me. Destiny just doesn't have that point. And bringing back... What? Fucking cat. Destiny doesn't have that yet. I agree, but bringing back Red War is not the answer. That's my point. If you want to get a player into a fucking before the goddamn Avengers Doomsday, I think the worst thing you could do is, hey, go watch fucking Iron Man 1. Go watch those 30 movies. Go play the 10 years of Destiny in order to get into it. That's just not the answer.
A people touched by both light and dark. Light bearers.
Just look at Rainbow Six Siege. They just announced Siege X and are going to rebuild a whole new engine and system to keep the game going for another 10 years. Dog, trying to compare a game, like, once again, I'm not going to sit here and defend the DCV, but comparing a game with the girth of Destiny to fucking Rainbow Six Siege that has like 2 game modes is ridiculous.
To protect the last city. Over the centuries, they earned the title Guardians. The Titans, paragons of strength and bravery. The Warlocks, mage scholars trained in the
Red War was
arcane
60%
arts.
getting the Vanguard back together. Frontal shape is
And
similar.
the Hunters,
The parallels.
bold adventurers, gifted with cunning. Guardians know that when they stand together, they are stronger. And now, new
I personally think the Red War did a perfect introduction of what it meant to have the Light be a Guardian and the 3 Vanguard characters. And if it got a legendary rework, it's number 2 story.
threats use our own
Okay.
powers against us. The Black Fleet closes in, edging us toward a second collapse. And our greatest adversary, the voice in the darkness, is revealed. A being of unimaginable power. A witness.
He dead. Not a bad cutscene.
All
Obviously not perfect,
lost.
but not bad.
Brand new guardians rise every day
I always enjoy seeing this art style too.
to shape the future of our solar system. And beyond.
I love how they show Rolk, which just spoiled him for Mila. Did Mila like realize it was Rolk? Like, how did they? I wasn't.
The Black Fleet closes in, edging us toward a second collapse.
Not a spoiler. He'll be fine. He won't even remember that. He won't even remember that. You'll be aight. The only thing I care about are the Leviathan raids. The rest can stay lost, to be honest. I don't think it's good that necessarily anything stays lost. Like, once again, in a perfect world, all of it would be playable in a way that is approachable to everyone. You know? But that's just not the reality we live in. And there are separate issues with the existence of DCV, but I also don't think these things existing does anything but make the New Light experience worse. Oh, nice. Good job, bye. I saw this take online. Do you think Rolk and Witness should have swapped places? Like, design-wise? Like, literally everything's the same, just the designs are switched, or what? Like, what do you mean by that? Because, like, their stories are very different. Which easier are you doing? Just getting minor, major boons and secrets. Just load in over and over again, but until you get very specific locations and events. I'm not sure, like, what's known and what, like, people have come up with and what... I haven't really seen anyone talk about shit like this. Yes, Poltassi said that. Said like what? Can someone link me this? Said what exactly? If it's just the designs, like, does Rolk have a more compelling final boss design than the Witness? Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't mind the Witness. I'm kind of, I think, in the minority where it's like, for what it is, like, I don't mind what the Witness looks like. I know there are people that absolutely hate the design of the Witness. The only boss, like, really, I'm not a huge fan of the final design of would be Nez. I think the original concept art for Nezrak looks like a quintillion times better than what we actually got. The leaving out Nez's cloak is a goddamn tragedy. But I don't really care. The Witness and Nez, like, if you switch them, I don't think it'd make any difference to me personally. This is crazy, though. There's one piece of concept art I'm looking for here. Yeah. It is a goddamn shame we did not get this. That's tragic. Absolutely tragic we didn't get that.
Heir presumptive.
Elden Ring ass boss? Yeah, sure. I think that's like... That's, in my opinion, like the biggest L that they've had with a boss. I know people are like, oh, the Witness looks like a cat or whatever. I don't really care. Like, the Witness is weird. I think it invokes the correct emotions. If anything, I wish we got to see like more of the Witness, specifically throughout like Lightfall and stuff. Like, I would have liked for that character to be fleshed out a little bit more. Like, I wish the Witness in-game was the Witness that we get in the Collector's Edition lore. But they are effectively like two different characters. And I feel like that actually happens with a lot of Destiny enemies. Like the Grimoire card version or whatever, the lore book version of the Destiny enemy is like a significantly cooler version than like the version we get in-game. And I wish, like, my main complaint with the Witness is not necessarily their design. It is truly like how they're portrayed in game. Concept art for Salvation's Edge Witness is Salvation's Edge Witness concept art. Yo, excuse me, what the fuck? Yo, excuse me, what the fuck? Oh my god, we were robbed. I take it all back. Everything I just said about not being mad about the witnesses. They kind of kept this, but by making him the spire. We were robbed. No, I don't think the witness and Nez, or the witness and Rolk should have been switched. I think witness and whatever the fuck that was should have been switched. Fuck! We got big witness with 6 hands! Instead of that, are you serious? The witness will always look too goofy for what we got. I don't know. I've heard people like, yeah, people I think use the term goofy to describe the witness a lot. For me, that's never the vibes I got. I got like, you know, kind of weird or odd or like, you know, different. But I've always interpreted that the witness was supposed to kind of induce those feelings. But that concept art, that's not the same. The end goal of that concept art is not the same. That is to instill fear, which is never what my interpretation of the witness was ever supposed to instill in the player. I think it's way cooler. I think if they took the fear aspect with Nezarec and the witness, things, you know, I think the designs would have been better. I'm sure there's like technical limitations or whatever for having the witness as a fucking whatever the hell that was. You're entitled to your wrong opinion. I mean, that's fine, but just I don't really know what you would find weird about the witness. I mean, it's not a very weird design. It's pretty safe, all things considered, to be honest. Like it's like, I don't, it's hard to explain, like or not weird, fucking, what was the word you used? I said I saw it all. Goofy. It's not goofy, it is weird, it's not goofy. There's nothing that would stand out as goofy, but it is, like, it's just odd, it's just different. It's a very different approach to a enemy design, right? Didn't Nez do something crazy in the lore? Dude, Nez has done like 10 crazy things. Yo, Lab, what's up? I want this next raid boss to be full-on Eldritch Cosmic Horror entity, and I want to be fucking scared. I think we missed our opportunity with that. I don't know when they would do something like that. Like, I feel like the Nezarec Final Shape. Really, the lore behind Nezarec going into Lightfall was the perfect opportunity to do something like that. If you go back, I was convinced Lightfall was going to be super dark. Because I thought it was going to be our Infinity War moment. Like, I thought it was going to be very dark, and it just wasn't. Kind of in a weird way, Final Shape was darker than Lightfall, which is a very strange. Just weird. It's just weird. I don't know. Just the whole. It's really unfortunate because I have often said that, like, most of Lightfall isn't as bad as people think. Like, I think the narrative of Lightfall was really bad, but like the content wasn't that bad. But I really do think that Lightfall really hurts like the cohesiveness of Destiny, or like how it feels as an entire package, from like a narrative and world building standpoint, which is I think the effects that Lightfall had were so much worse than just being bad itself, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like Lightfall's narrative and story and all that, being how it was, actively makes everything around it worse. It's really unfortunate. So you're telling me you don't want your dark moment of the story to be 80s synthwave? Yeah, exactly. What's weird is we lost in Lightfall, but in the campaign, but it ended up being kind of neutral. Yeah, it was like, who the fuck cares? We got the Travelosi out of it. Like, no one died. Did anyone die in Lightfall? Like, actually die? I guess technically Amanda Holiday, but not really. What the fuck? What is that? What the shit? What is, why? What? Oh. Light. Okay, what the fuck? Light is reflecting through that window, hitting my raid jacket frames, and then projecting through the back of my green screen. That fix it? What the fuck? Dude. Photons be doing some crazy shit, man. Oh yeah, Rowan. Whatever. You will listen to Osiris whine about 4 hours straight and Nimbus call Kalos a fatty. I still think top 10 craziest Destiny moments was when we murdered Keidel's dad right in front of her. And then Nimbus was like, oh, the fat ones die harder, or whatever the fuck Nimbus said. It's like, dog, we just killed her dad. Like, that's fucking crazy that you just said that. Unbelievable. The harder they are, the harder they fall, right? No, that's not what they said. That would have been insane, no. We have to protect the Cloud Ark. Is it, wait, is this the one that spawns with the... Is he gonna go immune? And ask me to kill the green one? Bro, you're being really fucking rude right now. How did I miss that? What? World's best mountain topper, NA. Oh, right on. Oh, right on. I win this, I win this, I win this. Oh, you can't finish these guys. Traded. Any boon or anything? Yeah, there's a boon there. I'm gonna go pick that up. I was hoping Zaval died in the final shape. I don't mind Zavala. I kind of, well, to be fair, like Zavala surviving for just for the stasis moment, that was kind of lit. I do wish like more people died than like, I like the Cade story beat and I like all that, but having Cade as the only major death it's kind of a cop out. You know what I mean? Imagine Icor and Zavala being so stressed during the final shape that they grew hair again. I don't think... That's not really how that works.
Heir presumptive, you have returned to my throne.
Tarj died, I guess? Tarj was not a major character. His name is Tarj. Like, let's be honest here, okay? Amanda... Eris is dead now? Yeah, well, once again. Eris is, like, not actually dead, though. What if Eris says F this, I want to stay dead? But she's not dead. She's just in the Ascendant Realm. At least Fickrel died. That was nice. I did enjoy that. I agree. Zavala hasn't appeared since the final shape this year. That's just kind of Destiny narrative, though. Is that true? I feel like since Sloan is in the season, Zavala would have appeared. She's in her throne world? Yeah. I don't think so, Lab. Bungie concept artist named Piotr released a new concept art for never seen before enemy race. Who these models even made in the game files as statues? Please check it out. Do I just Google that name in ArtStation? Where did you see it? Like I feel like when? Is this recently? Because I feel like everyone would have been talking about this if it was. I've seen the concept art. It's old. It literally says Destiny, not Destiny 2 on it. This is their art station. Well, this is Destiny IP. This looks like early Dread work. No, it literally says throwback to 2017, 2018. Sorry, it's beyond my head. Throwback to 2017, 2018. Whoa, wait. Wait, what? What the fuck happened in 2017, 2018 in the Destiny timeline? This is like Destiny. This is Destiny 2 vanilla? Forsaken? I mean, this is clearly what inspired the Dread design, right? Like, I'm not. I mean, the Witness and the Dread, like 100%. Like, this is the fucking Witness. Like, early, obviously not. You know what I mean? But there's no way that, like, these just look like subjugators. These kind of look like husks. You know what I mean? Posted 6 months ago. The last one was released today. This is Diablo. Oh, here's more Destiny IP exploration. Destiny IP number 2. Oh, I remember this. Using the splicer stuff. One second. Let's just see on this. Oh, it's this guy. This art style is so fucking cool. Yeah, once again, the exploration 2017, 2018. Jesus Christ. Weird unused character exploration for the Destiny IP. Posted 5 years ago. We think it's supposed to be Mara or something? I don't know. But still, I guess Mara already had, like, existed back then. I don't know. In 2019, around Shadowkeep statues, the last concept art you viewed with the humanoid enemies got added in the Destiny 2 game files named King and Queen statues. Yeah, it just seems like the sort of stuff that would eventually become, which at the time, I guess they would have been considered the Veil or whatever, but the Dread, the Witness, like all that stuff. Like, that's when they were doing early exploration of the idea of the witness, right? Like, that's when we first got introduced to that. But it clearly wasn't fully fleshed out until, like, Lightfall. You know what I mean? So, oh, look what I sent you. Oh my god. I don't like that even one bit. Maybe 9 for Apollo. Wait, once again, those were posted like years and years ago. I would not.
To my throne.
Plus, we already know what the 9 look like. But do not read into any of that as being for future content. Plus, they kind of just did like the Eldritch horror thing, like sort of like with the Dread, like future horror technology thing. I would not expect. Well, I don't expect a new race literally anytime soon in this game. Like, I don't expect another race in Destiny 2. Period. But I also don't think they would look anywhere near the Dread. Yeah, exactly. Yo, can you look yourself a little less loud over there, dude? When cats make that, like... disgusting. It would hit so hard if we got to go to an unknown location and fight local fauna and animals. Wrong game, bucko. Wrong franchise. What faction do you think we'll be dealing with this upcoming episode? I would say Vax probably. Like, I think they're the most set up for some new stuff. Like, I'm assuming it's like a continuation of Vespers, so maybe Fallen. But I feel like the Vex, like, I don't know. I feel like they need a lot of love, and we already got kind of teases that they were gonna be like big bads coming up. That might have been teasing whatever the fuck. What was that season called? Echoes? I don't know if it was though. Yo, Garbage, what's up? You excited for Architects in 2 days? Can I ask if any of the DCV conversations were had when giving feedback on Marathon? No, what? Brother. No, I was there to play a different game with like people that, contrary to popular belief, most Marathon devs didn't actually come from Destiny. That's a fun fact. That's a very fun fact for you guys. So yeah, I just ask random people. No. We're gonna look at the article. We kind of already did. I mean, the important part was what we talked about here. The Red War campaign is completely incompatible with the game's current operational framework. I think people are interpreting that to mean that the game is gone forever. I think that is fancy legal speak of saying, hey, we can't actually like look at this right now, and it's a lot easier for us to pull someone's YouTube video than invest the resources in spinning up old servers that work with old updates and old engines or whatever. I don't fucking know what that entails. Someone with a CS degree can make that sound better or correct. That is not them, in my interpretation, saying it's impossible and lost forever. I think that's them saying it's a considerable amount of work for us to go back and do this. So here's a YouTube video to use as a surrogate for now. Or because we don't think that you need much more to prove that these claims are bullshit or whatever. I'm saying, did the conversation come about content being taken away from Marathon? It's not even... Guys, like, what are we doing here, man? Once again, like, this is the same shit that you said about... I believe it was you, Canadian. Like, comparing games like this is ridiculous. I just don't even understand what we are doing. It's like Minecraft's never sunset anything. Yeah, like most of Minecraft's like fucking auto-generated, you know? Like, I don't even understand what we're even doing here. Do you think we'll ever see the Leviathan come back? I would be kind of surprised. I'm surprised they haven't leveraged it more since they did a lot of the work to bring it back already. Like it exists. They've already redone it.
Presumptive.
You know? So I'm very surprised that it didn't get left in the game, that it didn't, get leveraged a little harder. Like, even like, I would have to imagine as a function of them redoing all of the areas already to some extent, I would have to imagine that makes bringing the raid back a little easier than bringing back something like, and once again, these are all presumptions based off of someone who has literally no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. But I would just have to, like, logically, it seems to me to make sense that it would be easier to bring back the Leviathan raid or things affiliated with that space, like the Menagerie or whatever, because those areas have already been reworked. Or, those aesthetics have already been reworked or whatever. But once again, I don't really know what that all entails. So it's hard for me to, like, really stand on that. Last message. They sunset Herobrine every fucking update. They actually stopped doing that for a while, and then they started doing it again. But that's actually a really good point. Yo, what's up, Amir? How you doing? Grab this. Check your DMs, but don't show on stream. Unrelated note, we were talking about the names for the SD encounters in the press kit. SD. Oh, Sunder Doctrine. I noticed that the lore book you get at the end of Act 1 this season is the same as the first encounter name? Really? Yeah, so what Garbage is talking about, this is really interesting. And to be clear, I haven't looked at the names of I've spent a lot of time in Sunder Doctrine, but I will admit to every one of you right now that I've not paid any attention to the name of the like the checkpoint. But if you go to Sunder Doctrine in the press kit, it calls the encounters different than like what you would think. So like the first encounter, it calls like Asphodel or whatever. Second encounter is Babylon, and third encounter is Calypso. And that's just what the press kit refers to it as. So, there might be a mistake there. But I guess Garbage is saying that actually lines up with the lore of the season? Which I'd fucking... Fuck if I know where that is. Lore book? Oh yeah, it does! Very interesting. Oh, it is ABC. That's really interesting. Aren't these just their internal names for things? Yeah, maybe, but usually those don't make it into the press kit. It could 100% be the internal names. Totally could be. Is Titan too risky to do the solo flawless on? Conversely, I think Titan's the easiest to do solo flawless on. Okay, sorry. Have you heard the crackpot theory that Shadowkeep and Beyond Light were supposed to be one expansion? In the Hive cutscene this episode, we see the Scarlet Keep on Europa. Excuse me, what? In the Hive cutscene this episode, we see the Scarlet Keep on Europa? What in the fuck are you talking about? What cutscene? I'd prefer completely new, interesting stuff than continually bring back old content weapons. So luckily, that hasn't really been too much of an issue. I'll try to find the timestamp for it. If you just tell me the name of the trailer, we can watch it. It's the one where the blade cuts and we travel through the tears. So is it like one of the like obsidian or whatever cutscenes where it's like everything's like black statues and stuff? What do you think or hope Frontiers will be about? What direction do you think the game should go in? Once again, I say this a lot, and I'm going to maintain, this is my position with everything Destiny. Destiny is a 10-year-old franchise. What Destiny needs to do, in my opinion, is subvert expectations and like reinvent itself. The worst thing, even at this point, if Destiny makes great content, but it's too similar to what we've had before, then people are going to think lesser of it. I think last season is a really good example of that. I think a lot of the content that we got last season is pretty good, but it's also pretty samey. And I think that negatively hurts Destiny a lot. So if I can sit here and predict and say like what I think they should do in Frontiers, and they do that, like they've already lost. Like I think it's, if they really want it to regain a lot of that Destiny magic, it has to be about subverting expectations and inducing like mystery and intrigue and stuff like that. So it's, I don't want to be able to sit here and predict what they're going to do or should do with Frontiers. I think at that point, it's just not what the game needs. Oh, where the fuck did it go? Yeah, I am just farming a Triumph. I'll show you guys the Triumphs I'm farming. I'm gonna make a video on these rotations, but some of the Nether Triumphs are actually pretty crazy. Like grindy, but like it's fun because Nether's really fun. I don't mind it. But there's a couple Triumphs here that are really I just want to get out of the way before I start like farming Adept Shinies or whatever. Because the best way to farm Adept Shinies is just go into Expert Nether, run through the 3 objectives, kill the boss, leave, go back. And like you just do that over and over again. So you don't mess around with any of the extra bullshit. So I want to get the extra bullshit out of the way. So I'm not inclined to go for it. Let me show you here. Are you missing the Toland here every time? No, I literally just did it, Hoon. It spawns in a different place. Like if it's the place that I had recalled Toland spawning from my previous runs were different than where it spawns if you land there. If you had a lot of shinies drop, I've had a lot of not adept shinies. I have 0 adept shinies, but I also have not spent that long farming them. So here are the 3 triumphs that we're farming. Find secrets throughout the Nether. You have to do, I believe, 100 of these. Pretty grindy, not bad. The Toland that I do every time, and some, I think, potentially the 3 plates that I light are helping with that. The major boons and the minor boons are what else I'm farming. So minor boons I'm farming by killing the 3 wizard encounter. So that spawns 3 or 4 minor boons or 3 and a major boon. I'm not really sure what dictates if completing the encounter spawns a major or a minor, but sometimes it spawns one of each. So The plates don't count. Yeah, sure. I've not been paying attention, but I'm gonna keep doing them because they give a minor boon. So like whenever you see these black streaks, that means you got the wizards, and this one's really good. Here, because every wizard you kill drops a minor boon. So 1, 2, 3, and then the encounter completes, and I'll either get a 4th minor or a major here. So I got a minor. I really don't know what like makes it do what. I have no idea. Oh Jesus, brother. Yes, 500 minor boons. So it's quite grindy, but it's not so bad. And then like I kill this guy and then I get another minor boon here. And then we go again. And so, like I said, it's a pretty brainless farm, so it's kind of the perfect thing for stream when I'm like this, where we're kind of discussing, and it helps kill time. So. Can you get shinies out of Tomb of One drops? Yes. You cannot get adept shinies, but you can get shinies. But yeah, I got a shiny out of it yesterday. You can farm the major boons a lot faster with the upgrade. Yes, I'm gonna wait and do that last, because since I get sometimes a major boon out of this, I'm gonna get as many major boons as I can while farming the minor ones, and then do the farm specifically for major boons. Because I can do either both at once or focus on one and then potentially waste a little bit of time every time I get a major instead of a minor. Adepts do come from Expert Nether, yep. But spawn in, so see I have 66 secrets here. And the Tolan spawns, and then where he goes is the same literally every time, so you can just speedrun this. So minor boon plus, that counts as a secret. 67 secrets found. And then I go over here, I look for the wizards for the 3. So I got the wizards. This is actually the perfect run of this spawn here. I'm not crazy, right? Oh, I forgot. I thought I just missed the first one because I wasn't really looking at the screen, and then the second one went clear through the wizard. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'm not bad at the game. So in that run, I got 6 minor boons in 30 seconds, plus a secret. So it's not bad. You do 80 of those runs, and then you're fucking done. Boom! Any fun theory or idea what the Curio of the Nine thinks? I think I wouldn't be surprised if they're used to like bento boxes. Like there will be some 9 event leading into Apollo, and you use them to get rewards or whatever. That's kind of what I think they would be from. No, I'm doing the 3 plates thing specifically to get the extra minor boon. But Toland spawns right here, Hoon. Because if you go the other way, like if you load in and then this is like your second encounter, I think Toland spawns like up there. Or that's why I remember him spawning. Because he ends up over there. But if he spawns here, then he ends up over there. Oh, does he sometimes spawn on the right too? I have never seen him spawn up there. But let me correct. I've never seen him spawn up there when I load in here. Apollo's 100% being delayed. I've always said saying things without with such conviction with no evidence is pretty silly, but maybe it might be. I think the appropriate way of saying that is, hey, this. I think this will get delayed based on history or whatever. But just, you know, I think ever coming in and saying something with conviction like that, I really only set you up because no one's gonna be like, oh, that guy was right if you were right, but people are definitely gonna be like, dude, that guy's kind of stupid if you're wrong. So it doesn't really benefit you to like, you know, do shit like that. Personally, that's one of the first things you learn when you pursue a PhD. It's called use soft language. Using soft language. He does down there, and then he backtracks a bit. Okay, so it's just off to the right side of the stage. It should be. Why should it be? That's also kind of a weird thing to say. Are Guardian games starting next week? Are they? No. Do we have any reason to believe that they're coming this act? I don't think we've heard about Guardian games at all. Have we? Oh, Hoon, do you need any more Vogue? I saw that it's farmable again this week, and I definitely am gonna try to do some shit. You're done? Okay. That's why I worry for Marathon not being free to play. Once again, that has not been confirmed. The SC community is reluctant to play, let alone draw money. What? Marathon is not for the Destiny community. Like, I don't fucking understand how many times I have to say shit. Like, I feel like so much of the community has, like, this part of their brain missing that just, like... I just don't...
Heir presumptive, you have returned to my throne.
Our team Finder full runs went hard. Oh, did you actually do that? Oh! So Toland can spawn in other places. Is that the other location, Hoon? Or is there a third one? You think I don't know the game's not made for the Destiny community? Well, yeah, actually, I do think you... Based off of your own statement, I do actually think that's exactly what you think, yes. That is how typically interpreting things that people say work, yeah. Yeah. But that's exactly the point why I think the game's in big trouble. The extraction shooter community is nowhere near as big, brother. Wow, that's That's right. Because games made in very, specific types of games that are not Destiny, never successful. That is actually a fact. Battle Royale? No. Does it? Never successful. Minecraft? Let's go specifically for genres of games that are not as big as Destiny. I don't even fucking have an example off the top of my head, to be honest. So tell us, is it good? Yes. That's all, actually, like, literally all I wanted to say. No, wait, let me clarify. If I thought it was bad, I am allowed to say that as well. That is an important clarification point. I am not only allowed to say it's good. I would never sign a deal requiring me to say that. We are really in a weird spot, aren't we? I think every day I realize life would be really easy, like a lot easier, if I was just like missing that part of my brain.
Killer. Run him down.
It's just like people who get mad at everything seem to be like way happier. Does that make sense? Like it seems like their life is way easier. Do I have to pick these up? Oh, okay. I'd be so much happier without a frontal lobe. That's like the goddamn truth. Yeah, that's a really good point. The Borderlands community is not as big as the Destiny community, so that means Borderlands 4 will not be successful. The Warframe community is not as big as the Destiny community, so that means a Warframe DLC will never be successful. Brother. What was the last game that killed Destiny 2 Outriders? No, there's been like 5 since then. I mean, look at all the independent games never successful. I guess that is true. Very true. In fact, if there's ever a game that's like, I'm never buying another game other than Destiny 2 ever again. Because, they're just not Destiny, man. They're just not successful. But how will it appeal to me? As someone... as your everyday gamer who spent 10,000 hours on a looter shooter. But think about, what if the franchise doesn't appeal to me? Then it can't possibly do well, dude. Can't possibly be a good game. I'm just your average gamer. I mean, just think about it. Marathon 1 peaked at like how many players? A couple thousand? It wasn't even that popular, man. You won't even believe this. Between the Marathon trilogy, Marathon 1, 2, and 3, literally 0 people bought it for Xbox Series X or PlayStation 5. Dead franchise, bro. Average chatter be like, bro. Oh, goodness. As the main character of the world, how will this development entice me to play it? Exactly. God damn it, Sweeney. You can't shoot 1,000 voices in Bellotro, dead game. Don't you, even if it's a joke, don't you ever talk shit about Bellotro ever again, or else I will ban you. I don't care if it's a joke. I don't care if you're being held at gunpoint. I don't care if your mom says she'll give you up for adoption if you don't shit talk Bellotro. If you ever do it again, I'm banning you from existence. Disgusting.
Presumptive, you have returned to my throne.
Can't well scan Bellotro? Maybe you can't. That's more of a self-report than anything, I think. Concord, it's really unfortunate because I think what's worse than like Concord failing is the irreparable damage it has done to the brains of people. It is over, man. You see, guys, it's either a 50-50 chance. Every game is either Concord or not Concord. Do you ever think about that? Duh, it's fucking statistics, boys. There are no two games that have been more damaging to the gaming community than Stellar Blade and Concord, I swear to God. No BS, a few Destiny 2 creators I saw play it actually gave it solid ratings. Yeah, well, they think Destiny 2 is a good game, so like... Why would you ever trust us with anything? That's ridiculous. Allegedly, K-Phil. I totally forgot that happened, actually. Was it Blizzard or was it... Did that happen I thought that happened at the Activision offices. I know, like, they're, like, semantics, but... Hey, Scaro, #1 Stellar Blade fan here, trying out Destiny 2 for the first time. Just wondering, what do I do with my other hand? Let's go. Do we think Destiny Rising will capture the Stellar Blade fans, or are they gonna have to wait for Destiny 3?
Presumptive, you have returned to my throne.
Yeah, you do need both hands to well skate. That's what you... We should actually, like, high key. Is Milo playing right now? Oh, fucking... EU people having regular sleep schedules instead of being on when it's convenient for me. Disgusting. I forgot about Destiny Rising. I'm so curious how this goes. I'm gonna be trying it out. It was genuinely like fine. I mean, there were a lot of things that were good. It's a mobile game at the end of the day. But there were a lot of things in Destiny Rising where I was like, hey, that's actually like kind of interesting. Like that's a unique way of approaching that, or like a unique piece of Destiny content. So I'm genuinely curious how it turns out. I really love how you can tell like Milo's in it though. Like he's addicted to Destiny. That's pretty fun. I would just like to inform people. I can go back in the Discord and show you, but this, I don't know like what like solidified his decision to do it, but this saga was literally my idea. I don't know if he'd confirm that. I could go back in the Discord messages and find it. In fact, fuck it. Fuck it. I just want everyone to know this was my idea. How do I do like from? How do you search like who made a comment on Discord? Sent by? Yeah, I thought it was from. No, it's not. It's not liking that in this chat. Oh, it might be in this chat. Bruh. Is, do you have to have, like... It's not great. Yeah, it's not recognizing the command from... Is that something you have to have, like, enabled on a server?
Heir presumptive, you have returned to my throne.
Not works everywhere? It's literally not liking me doing from. No, it's not in DMs. It was in, he has a like a workflow server that I'm in. No, yeah, I know it's on the search bar. I wish I could show you. I can't, but like I just did in and it recognized it as a command, but it did not recognize from as a command. Oh, see? Like, I don't know why. Sometimes this is a major boon. I don't really know what the difference is. Can you just see all of his video ideas? I could, but, like, he would, like, his views would still... Well, A, I'd be burning a friendship, and B, his videos would fucking destroy mine anyways, so... Yep, the USEC shirt. I have been recently, because I did feel kind of bad about like when I was playtesting Marathon in October. Like I've said this a couple times, not to keep bringing it up, but I felt bad that I didn't know the lore. So recently I've been kind of going down a little bit of a, I don't want to call it a deep dive, but a very surface level preview of the Marathon lore, so I know like literally anything about what the fuck is going on. So that's been kind of fun. Turns out a lot of Bungie stories are pretty similar, by the way. Marathon to Halo to Destiny, there's like a pretty close comparison between all of those things. So which faction is your favorite? I'm really bad at this. I'm extremely, whichever ones are the compilers. The Svit or the other one, the Fjord or Thor or whatever. Those ones.
Hit back.
The mouth reproductive ones. They're cool. What the mother? What? Yeah, there's a species in the original Marathon games that have a giant mouth on their stomach, but it's actually not a mouth. It's like a kind of like a vagina, and they reproduce there. At least that's what the video I watched said. I don't fucking know, dog. I've watched like 4 videos on Marathon lore. I've never played the original games. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend to be an expert. Have you seen anything new on the new games lore from the ARG? I felt really bad about this too, because I solved it, and no. No, I haven't. I skipped all the lore parts. I need to, like, I know it's got like the kind of like post or late stage capitalism vibe with like Mida and that genetics company or whatever. Like I very vaguely remember going through the websites and like sending the email to that place or whatever, but I didn't. Is there a good recap? Is there a good video or series of videos you would recommend, Jonesy, on catching up with that stuff? You're saying they're the best looking faction? No, they're just my favorite. Is it these guys? Video game alien precursors. It's not even these guys. It's actually the precursors to one of those species I mentioned. One of these days, we're gonna go through and play the original Marathon. Because they're all on Steam now. Red War, what's that? Trash, that's what it is. Ayo, got him. Wait, who's a massive Marathon fan? How'd you feel if the new Pantheon was centered around GM content rather than... I don't know why I jumped off. I did that to like wipe and reset, but that's... I have to fly back in. I don't know. Like all 3 of the battlegrounds continuously or... No, if we wasted a Pantheon on fucking strikes, I'd be pissed. These guys. See, it looks like a mouth, but that's how they reproduce. They eat eggs. Do you believe video games used to look like this? Fucking old people, dude. Insane. Jonesy, I don't know if like I missed a message or what, but all I see here is you should look into it because it's sick. And then I asked who, and they said he's a massive Marathon fan and broke down everything from ARG. Who is? Oh, Jake the All Right. He knows everything there is to know about Marathon. All right, I'll check it out. Jake the All Right.
Heir presumptive, you have returned to my throne.
I love so completely unrelated to what we were talking about, but I love like the spin this season being Ghost Oryx actually thinks you're cool as fuck because you kill them is such a cool twist. And I did not see that coming at all, and I'm a big fan actually. As someone who was like incredibly against Oryx coming back, I'm having fun with this version of Oryx. Patrol Pantheon is coming. Do you think we'll have any public news from Bungie about Marathon from now until summer, or will it be dead silent, like it has been? I don't know. I'm on copium thinking that we'd hear something, but I literally don't know. What did Joe Ziegler say in December? What was the... In the video, did they say anything about it? Bruh. I'm the best mountaintop user in the fucking galaxy. Was that December? I think it was December. Was it not? It's been like 4 updates to the Marathon Steam page in the last week. What do you mean? If I donate $100, will you break the NDA? That is the most unhinged chatter comment I have ever fucking seen. That is crazy. $150. On SteamDB, you can track when devs make some changes in the background, and recently they made 4 updates to it, including adding family sharing to the game. Oh. Does it say what the updates are, or is it just like, the game has been updated? I guess they probably don't have to release patch notes for a pre-release game. Yukijin did it for free! Allegedly! I was reading what chatter said. This is not my opinion. Don't sue me, don't sue me, don't sue me. Goddamn helicopter over my house. If I get nuked, it's been nice knowing you. Reported, but not to Bungie. My house is shaking. What the fuck? Oh no! Pete Parsons works fast is an insane comment. I didn't even put together that there's a helicopter over my house. One day, so you guys know how before Black Ops 6, Milo did his thing where he was like, I don't even fucking know what to call it. Like the lead up, real life Easter egg hunting or whatever. Just fucking imagine. If any Destiny people are in here right now, I want you to know, or if any Bungie people, if you ever want to make me sign a liability waiver and get legally kidnapped for an ARG, I will absolutely 1000% do it. You'd have to let my wife know so she didn't freak out. But if you ever want to just like helicopter onto my lawn and like fucking abduct me in the middle of a stream for content, I'm down. I'd sign whatever you need me to. Also, if you want to send me across the fucking world, like, I'm like, still, I haven't ever asked Milo about this because I don't want to ruin the immersion for myself, but I'm like 100% sure that that was all fake. Like, I don't think he was actually working with Treyarch on any of that. I think he made it. But like, if anyone wants me to take all my PTO and do something like that legitly, once again, I will do it. I will sign whatever waivers you need. I will say I will not sue you if I get malaria because I had to camp in the middle of Virginia. You're like a 6'4" hockey player? 6'1" hockey player? And you're saying people above 6 feet can't be abducted? That's crazy. Consensually abducted? Take me. Bungie employee in a mask walks in my office. Do what you will. It's fucking crazy. You guys are unhinged as shit, dude. Sweatcicle is watching your guide about the red border puzzles on Salvation's Edge. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What did he say? Did he roast me? Was he like, Scarrow, I love that guy? Did he pretend not to know me? Do you think all those Destiny creators were there to playtest Marathon or Destiny? I'm gonna ask you to reread that sentence really slowly, because you answered, I think you answered it. Do you think all those Destiny creators were there to playtest Marathon or Destiny? I wonder. One of the world's many mysteries. One of the... No, I don't think they're bringing in a bunch of Destiny people to playtest Marathon. Gummy bears, obviously. Gummy bears, what's that? We're not supposed to know what that is. Okay? You have forbidden knowledge. You and Grenader Jake are Destiny players that played Marathon? Yeah, and out of 20 whatever people, we were the only 2 that I'm aware of, Destiny players. And I was not there because I create Destiny content. Clearly it's for a pizza party to keep up Destiny 2 content creators' morale. No, they don't give a fuck about that. Actually, I say that, but they do send us Christmas cards, so actually, never mind. I lied. I think they do care. I think old Bungie would not have cared. I think new Bungie partnership relations absolutely does care, and the people in charge of that are really awesome. You presented polymer chemistry ideas for Marathon. I did offer, I did say, I gave an open invitation to the gameplay director and the gameplay, and the game director and all of them. I said, hey, one of my biggest gripes in video games is chemical structures that are presented in the world are either caffeine or incorrect. And if you need literally anyone to fact check any chemical structure that might be in this game, just on the offhand that you write a fucking chemical structure on a wall or a whiteboard somewhere, if you need a fact check, I will literally do it for free. It is what I do. And so they do have that offer. That has been, and I maintain that for pretty much any video game company. If you just send me a picture of a chemical structure, for free, I will tell you whether it makes sense or not, and then I will help you correct it. You should troll them into using a funny chemical structure. I just draw one that looks like a dick. Whoa, why is ChemDraw not working? What? Wait, do I not have ChemDraw on this computer? Hello? Oh no. I never reinstalled ChemDraw on this computer. I was gonna do a funny.
Presumptive, you have returned to my throne.
One second. I'm going to Sigma Aldrich's website because I think you can draw. Why, yes, Bungie. I will show you my favorite chemical structure. Nope. Brother, fucking. Come on, Sigma. Don't do this to me. Why, yes, this is a legitimate chemical structure. Why do you ask? Oh, goodness. That is a spaceship. True. That's some 2001 Space Odyssey type bullshit. I had a Western Lit class in high school. As it was really a college class, but I took it during high school. And we watched 2001 A Space Odyssey. And our teacher was like really obsessed with pointing out everything that was phallic in that video, in that movie. There's like a scene with a spaceship. And he's like, look, it's a penis. It's like, dog, that's a really weird thing for you to be saying right now. Fucking literature professors, am I right? What if it's not for a video game? What if I just want to see a chemical structure and I want to know what it is? Do I have to pay them? Then you can just Google. High key, every time someone asks me a chemistry question on stream, I'm like very nervous I'm gonna get it wrong and look like an idiot. Oh, you have a PhD? You have to answer every chemistry question from every subgenre, from every type of chemistry, 100% correct. Or else you're a lie. And then they'll ask me some like fucking nuclear chemistry question. It's like, dog, I work with plastics, man. Yo, Paper, what's up? Sorry. It'd be pretty fun if I, but like every time I end up telling someone, like this actually happened with a Bungie dev, where they were like, oh, well, you know, it somehow came up. I was like, oh no, I'm not a full-time content creator. I'm a chemist. And they're like, oh, what do you know? And I'm like, okay, I work in sustainability. Oh, you work with plastics. How fucked are we for microplastics? That's like, if I don't get asked if I know how to make meth, the inevitable other question that I always get asked is like, so like microplastics are gonna fucking kill us, right? Or how screwed's the environment? Or some variation of that. I have a lot of doomer chats with people. In fact, I'm pretty sure I had that exact chat with DMG. I'm like quite confident DMG and I had like a 40-minute conversation about that at GCX. People love asking me about that. As a polymer chemist, do you ever dabble in MOFs? You know, it's actually really interesting. So MOFs are cool, but they're more of an inorganic. Well, at least in my experience, like that's more of like a inorganic chemistry lab approach to things. So I've been to many talks about MOFs. I have never made a MOF, no. But I have friends that worked on MOFs for their PhDs. PhD, why have we not been calling you Dr. Scarrow? Like, a lot of people actually do, but I don't, it's fine. You don't have to. Can you make microplastics tasty? You probably can't taste most microplastics. And like the goal of a lot of what I do is to make macroplastics not taste bad, but it's not to make them taste good. I can manipulate atoms at will. If I had Adam Eve's powers, it would make my job so much easier. Actually, I wouldn't work if I had her powers, but... Do you have a favorite compound? So I have a couple patents. Actually, one of my patents, this is really fun. One of my provisional patents, so it's still working. But we actually have a limited
My dreadnought tests
non-exclusive license with it. So it's like
show
I might be
me
getting
your
some money, not a ton, but some money here soon from some of the work I did in grad school, which is sick. We're still working out the specifics. Well, really, people that get paid to do that are still working out the specifics. I'm just waiting by the phone. But so the specific polymers in that patent would be my favorite, or would be my favorite. But I don't want to like dox myself by telling you what they are. So what I usually tell people is my favorite solvent, which is dimethyl sulfoxide, DMSO. It's very cool. It is very handy. It dissolves polymer chemists, so I had to dissolve a lot of polymers. I worked with amphiphilic polymers, so they're kind of fucking weird. They don't always dissolve in chloroform. They pretty much always dissolve in DMSO, making it very handy for like if I get like deuterated DMSO to do NMR, that sort of stuff. If I just needed to clean out like my line or a piece of glassware, like DMSO was kind of goated on the sauce, so. But like more traditional solvents, ethyl acetate fucking smells really good. It's a very unpopular opinion, but I've got an opportunity with my group project to do a talk thing at a big conference. I've never been to anything like that. Is it worth to go? Yes, yes, because not only is it great experience, put that shit on your resume. 100%. I have a talks and posters section, depending on what your major is, but for like chemistry, that's very important. So when I presented at ACS, when I presented at different schools, when I, you know, whatever, anything, any sort of competitions, like poster competitions or anything you compete in, I like to wait so my video makes sense.
Hit back, killer.
So yes, go present and put that shit on your resume, 100%. Well, they crystallize something from DMSO or DMF is a pain in the ass. Well, yeah, that's because it's got like the highest fucking vapor pressure ever, or odd boiling point. Like, we used to, we did a lot of like metallocene chemistry. Well, I say we, my lab did, I didn't, but like lots of layering recrystallization. What is that called? There's so there's diffusion recrystallization. Yeah, I think it's layering. Sorry, once again, something I like did once or twice, but didn't really, it wasn't really part of my normal research, but I had to listen to it sometimes, so it's like a vague memory I have. But like, I think like ether and hexanes a lot in a glove box. I feel your pain with my job and degree. I work in software QA engineering, but everyone here is computer science degree and thinks I'm some IT expert capable of helping them with their tech problems. It's also like, a lot of times when people ask me questions, it's like very fundamental chemistry questions that I haven't thought about since I, you know, taught intro to chemistry my first semester in grad school. Like, I very quickly went to teaching orgochemistry for 2 years and then teaching advanced synthetic chemistry after that for 2 years. So it's like I haven't thought about like a lot of my fundamentals, especially outside of like fundamental organic or polymer chemistry in a long time. Like if you ask me to do like an acid table, like an ice table right now, I don't fucking know how they teach that shit anymore, dog. And I haven't done that in 10 years. I don't know. You know, like shit like that. But like stoichiometry, pushing arrows, like that sort of shit, fuck yeah. Catalyst loadings, like I got you all day long. I'm doing some mechanochemistry of porous materials. Nice. Like, I really like, I was always really fascinated with like hydrogels and stuff. I love when people make like reversible hydrogels with different like ionic crosslinks and stuff. I think that's so fucking cool. Anytime we got a visiting professor and they were like, oh yeah, we're making synthetic skin out of hydrogels, I was always like, sat up in my chair, you're doing what? I'm in a clan, but we're pretty small in terms of active players. Look for a chill group I could join, but not leave my group. Oh, how do you do that? I would say LFG. I think LFG is the best way to The community likes to make like a big boogeyman out of LFG, and I do like. I'm not gonna sit here and say you won't experience toxicity on LFG because you definitely will. But I met almost all of my friends through LFG or Twitter towards the later ends of my, you know, stuff. But it's like other content creators. But it's like there's bad experiences on LFG, but the overwhelming majority of my experiences on LFG have been good or neutral. I've yet to have a I've yet to have a single bad LFG experience. Yeah, okay, dude. Lab, you had the bad LFG experience. You just take the game too seriously. You're what's wrong with Destiny, Lab. That's an all-time clip. Yo, Scaro, this might be stereotypical of me to say, but if you ever watched the anime Dr. Stone, I find it really unique of an anime being about science and whatnot. No, I hate saying this on stream because I get fucking roasted for it every time. I am not a fan of anime. I've prepared myself. I know what's happening. And here it comes. The death threats have already poured in. Oh my god, someone sent me my IP address. Yeah, okay, Phil, that's a lab. That's a classic Destiny clip, though. I will come to your house and shoot you with a 50 caliber. It's like, what? Well, I was just going, dude, calm down. I just asked you to put on a different exotic. Drop the college roommate hentai lore. It wasn't even hentai. It was fucking, it was really anime. But yes, a large part of my disdain for anime in college, Victoria and I shared a 4-bedroom apartment with some friends from high school. And so it was Victoria and me were on half the apartment. We had our own hallway, and really we used like her room as storage, and then she slept in my room most of the time, unless I was like working on YouTube, and then she had her room. But it was like living room, and then off this branch was us. So like we had our own rooms and our own bathroom, and then the other two lived on the other side, and they had the same deal going on, except for the sleeping together part. I think they were maybe, I don't think so. Anyways, but one of the lab mate, so the two back rooms at the end of the hallway, so the hallways were parallel, and in between were the bathrooms. And then, like, directly at the end of the hallways were my bedroom and roommate number 2's bedroom. And we shared a wall, and the walls were very thin. And my roommate worked night shift. And so, whenever he didn't work, he stayed up all night watching anime. Dragon Ball and a couple other things that I'm not an anime guy, so I don't know. But there were, like, I swear to fucking God, it was probably every other night Victoria and I would be woken up. And looking back, I don't know why we didn't just sleep in her room. I don't know what that's about. Like, looking back, like, her room was like, I think we're dumb. I'm gonna have to ask her. I mean, this was like 8 years ago now. But like, we should have just slept in her room, because it was far away. But we always, most of the time, I think, if not always, slept in my room, which shared the wall. And then in the middle of the night, like every other night, we'd be woken up by fucking anime noises, like, ah! You know, like the fucking, yeah, when people in anime are surprised, we're like, or whatever, you know what I mean? And that shit haunts my fucking dreams. And now anytime I hear like an anime reaction noise, I cringe. You watched it without headphones? Yeah, you watched it on TV, yeah. So, but yeah, in hindsight, I don't know why we didn't just sleep in Victoria's room. I don't know what that's about. Maybe we did sometimes. I don't fucking remember. That was so long ago. I used to, like, when I was growing up and adults were like, oh, I don't remember. That was so long ago. It's like, what do you mean you don't remember? When you're 16, you can remember everything. But when you have so much lived experience, it's like, I don't even fucking remember where I am anymore, man. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, Steffi. Or is it Steph? Steph Yonic or Steffi Onik? Excellent questions, me.
My dreadnought tests you.
So,
Presumptive.
that's one of the main reasons I dislike anime. I'm also not a huge fan of, like, animated things. But there's exceptions. I like, for instance, Invincible quite a bit. I ignored all your questions. I didn't. It's not on purpose. In fact, I don't think I've seen your name in chat except for right now. Are you getting auto banned by YouTube? Have you seen Death Note? No, fucking. What did I just say? Squid Game Season 2 kind of feels like an anime. Excited for the new episode tonight? Fuck yeah, I'm excited for the new episode tonight. Dog, I'm excited for episode 8 because we're gonna get some of that onslaught. Isn't Invincible an anime? I don't really know if you could call it that. I just like Robert Kirkman. He's the fucking GOAT, so. Oh, gotcha, okay. I want. Yeah, Hoon, you're absolutely right. Well, okay, not even season 1. Like, the Adam Eve special, that animation is fucking absurd compared to the, like, literally even season 1. Like, it's so much better. But what I really want, when Battle Beast and, whatever the fuck his name is, I forget his name right now, the Emperor, whenever they finally fight, that shit better be an entire episode, and it better be the best goddamn animation that the series has. Thrag, yep, thank you. Yeah, I did read the comics, yeah. Like I said, I'm a big Robert Kirkman fan. I read the Walking Dead comics, well, so my dad was a Walking Dead fan. We went to Atlanta to watch The Walking Dead Season 1 be filmed. So in the scene where Rick jumps out of in episode 1, where he jumps out of the tank and he runs down the street, like, we were there the entire day watching them do that take. So, like, 100% I have been photoshopped out of the end of that street in the final shots, like, without a shadow of doubt in my mind. Once we watched that, and then the season 1 came out, then I read all the comics too. So I've been following it since then. I'm just a huge Robert Kirkman fan. I've read pretty much most of his stuff. So I don't want to say all of it because I'm sure he has some obscure shit, but I'm just a big, like, it's pretty insane to me that he's so consistently good at writing so many different genres. But honestly, Invincible's, I'm gonna say, like, a better, like, I think a better complete story in the comics than The Walking Dead. That being said, the first 5 episodes or seasons of The Walking Dead TV show are, like, they will never be matched. They're fucking absurd. And then season 9, I really like season 9. Hey, Victoria. So I was telling chat about Colby and why I hate anime, because we had to listen to it through the wall. And then it occurred to me, and I'm sure there was a reason, but I just forgot. Why didn't we just sleep in your room?
Selfish?
Because I'm selfish. What does that mean?
You liked your bed better?
Well, you slept with me. Your ass could have slept in your room. I'm sure there was a legitimate reason, but I don't remember what it was. Maybe it's because your room was closer to the living room, and we were worried about people waking us up, but they both slept in. Are we dumb? I think we're done. No, like it just occurred to me. I was like, wait a second. I was describing the layout of our apartment. And I was like, wait, why didn't we just sleep? She's got the same puzzled look I do, so. Okay, I didn't realize Invincible was around for so long. Yeah, dude, I mean, it's got 3 full compendiums, I think. It's huge. The Walking Dead does end in the comics. Pretty much the same place the show did, actually. Issue 134. Did you just throw my sock at me?
Yeah, why is it in your cup?
She likes playing with my socks. I think 134 or something? Or 123? Is it? Oh, is it 193? Did it go that long? What the fuck? Yeah, 193. Yeah, Jesus. I have them. I have all but the first 5 issues in a comic book box. In 2 comic book boxes, actually. Any albums you're hyped for this year? New Architects album drops on Friday. I think that's gonna be really good. It's called The Earth, the Sky, and Everything in Between, or something. And all between the sky, the earth, some variation of what I just said. Spirit Box has an album, Tsunami Sea, dropping next week. Memphis Mayfire has a new album, Shapeshifter. Although it's pretty much all out, it's very good. Einstein Kills is due for an album. Motionless in White is due for an album. Pittsburgh King is due for an album. Dance Gavin Dance is due for an album. God, I'm sure there's so many I'm forgetting. Do you have to wait for issues? Yeah. Yeah, I started reading and like buying The Walking Dead at like fucking like 60 or 70 or something. Like really early on. Maybe even earlier. Like it was before Negan. It was before 100. It was like literally whatever issue was on like when season 1 hit. New Whitechapel. The new Memphis stuff is so good, man. They do like classic metalcore so fucking good. Sleep Token is due for a new album. I do like Sleep Token. Fire from the Gods is a little, it's outside of my, they're not heavy enough from what I've heard. Not that they're bad. I just prefer the heavier stuff. So in my head, Fire from the Gods feels very Sleep Theory-y, which is fine, but it's just not what I listen to. What else? What other bands? I'm sure there's so many other bands. Oh, Barry Tomorrow is gonna be really good. I'm a Marvel. I don't really do Marvel comics or DC comics, but I much prefer Marvel characters. What else? For my Spotify list. I know there's like 100 more. I just can't think of any of them. Anyways, those are the big ones for now. Really excited. I think the next month. Oh, Electric Callboy hopefully has an album coming out this year. New All That Remains record, Straight Fire. I'm not a fan of All That Remains. The Fall of Ideals was my jam in high school, and then I grew out of like in high school I was like a big Five Finger Death Punch fan, and then I grew and then I moved out of I didn't move out of the South, but I got more world experience, and like that red metal thing really. We're just gonna put that in a box in the corner and never talk about that phase of my life again. Yeah, I think those are the main things. I'm kind of crazy that Act 2 releases next week. What the fuck are you talking about? Act 2 doesn't come out for 2 more weeks. Like 2 weeks from next Tuesday. Unless I completely missed something. No, I've never read a Spawn comic. No. March 11th? Yeah, 2 weeks. Oh, Landmarks! That album's gonna be so good, dude. Fucking, Sulfur was goated. I'm sorry about that, Darwin. Are you good? Are you good? Everything good? 2 weeks from yesterday? Oh, yes, it's Wednesday. I don't know why I thought it was Friday. Now I'm sad. Thanks for reminding me it's not Friday, chat. There's light on the other side, Street. You realize. You're flying high? Good, 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 good. I'm so excited for the new Ice 9 kills, though. Like, I think... Oh, it's just gonna be so fucking good. I'm really excited for that. Assuming we get something this year, which we should. Yeah, Act 2 is releasing really soon. I'm excited for all of this, man. I think we're heading into a very exciting time for Destiny. Pretty soon I can stop doing the toll and shit. And just start hard focusing on the wizards. Not a bad farm though, eh? This is a lot more, like, unironically, I enjoy doing shit like this way more than 50 onslaughts. Could you say Destiny's best days are ahead? No, I probably wouldn't say that, but I think there's gonna be good content ahead. You know? So it's hard because even if, like, we keep getting, it sucks because it's like we can keep getting Salvation Edges and we can keep getting Bows and we can keep getting Vespers and Sunder Doctrine, like, genuinely, like, we can keep getting Nethers, but, like, even if we're getting top tier content, it sucks that, like, so much of the Destiny vibe comes from the community. My cat is fucking freaking out. It comes from, like, the community vibe. And so, like, the sole reason I don't think Destiny's best days are ahead is because I don't think, like, the best community sentiment is ahead. I think that not only do you need the best content, but you need the best community vibes, in my opinion. And I just don't think that's happening. She does this fucking thing where she'll walk into a room and then just start, like, and, like, our vet says that's because she gets lost, or she thinks she's lost, but she, like, her ass fucking walked into that room. Like, I have a bathroom right here, and sometimes, like, I leave the door open to the main, it's sorry, it's hard to explain, but it's like, our house has 2 masters, and we obviously only sleep in 1 master, so my office is the second one, and so I have, like, a master bathroom right there. One of guys, it's a master, and so it's like you walk in and it's like the shower and the sink, and then there's, like, a separate room there's, like, a closet and then the bathroom, like a toilet. And so, like, I just leave, like, the shower room, like the main hallway thing, open, and she'll walk in there and she can see me, but she'll, like, her back will be to me, but she has direct line of sight. And then she'll just, it's like, you fucking walked in there, you idiot. Like, I'm right here. You can literally hear me breathing. Fucking cats. Absolutely wrote a complete review of the game on Steam and summed it up to: when the community vibes are good, the game is unbelievable. When the vibes are bad, the game is agony. And it sucks because it's like, it's so much out of, like, you need good content for good vibes, but they're not guaranteed. My back cat does that. She'll sit at the bottom of the stairs and say hello repeatedly until you say hi to her. Look, and now she walked in here. Hi. Did you guys hear that? Did you hear her meow? Did you hear that one? Shadow, come here. That was cute. You want to hop up? Lap cuddles? What? Ouch, she's such a brat. Put her up to the camera. Look at my little chunky biscuit. How you doing, Shadow? You're so chunky. Yeah, she's very cute. But you just sniff my nose and then get scared? What? Oh my god, I'm getting sick. Anyways. She is a really pretty cat. But she's a fucking brat. But she's really cute. You said earlier we know what the 9 look like. We know what... Well, okay, I guess to be fair, we know what emissaries of the 9 look like. I don't actually think we know what the 9 look like. I've always like interpreted it as the 9 are like disembodied. That they don't necessarily have physical, like, it feels like they're kind of like the personification of the planets, right? Like that's kind of my understanding of them in a sort of way. So I'm not even sure if they have like physical forms.
Show me your
They're dark matter? Oh, okay. Well, I think it still applies what I said. Why? Can anyone explain why this sometimes give major boon? This sometimes gives a major boon and it's sometimes a minor boon? I do not understand. Also, you said earlier you don't expect a new race in Destiny. I agree, but what about new things to you? Oh, what? Fuck me, I butchered the shit out of that. I apologize. I said earlier I don't expect a new race in Destiny 2. I agree. What new things do you expect? Like subclasses, locations, aspects, damage types, weapon. Well, okay, pretty much everything you said, but subclasses. I would be very surprised if we don't start to see more evolutions on Prismatic or on like Stasis or Strand. I feel like they both kind of need it. I don't know if we get a Resonance subclass or whatever, a Third Darkness subclass for a long time. I could be wrong. But I feel like it... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Have you heard of RNG? No, there's always a reason.
Hit back, killer. Run him down.
Oh, Hoon, does this one count as secrets, by the way? Okay, 84 secrets. Okay, it does. Nice. I don't know. I still had the copium idea that Prismatic would be the best way to roll out like a new subclass. Like you give us like a grenade in one act and or episode, and then like a class ability or melee in the next or whatever. I really thought they were gonna do that with the echoes. I like it's such copium. Like of course they weren't going to. Yeah, it does. Okay, but would have been cool. I stand by it. I think we'll see more stuff like the Dire Taken this season, new units to the bricks. I will say the Dire Taken, such a like I'm going to say unnecessary, but I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a good way. Like I feel like the Dire Taken are like over delivery or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, they didn't have to do that, but I'm so glad they did. Like, it's such a cool little extra thing that they did this season that is really fucking cool. What are the dire Taken? You know how they gave Taken enemies like different attacks and designs? This, you see how like these guys have the little tentacles? And like how like the goblin shoots trans shit and like they do different stuff now. That they're called the dire Taken. It's like essentially a new faction of Taken. They should have Scion jockeys. Like Scions riding on war beasts. Oh my god. That's like the greatest idea you've ever had. How many kills does your Sunshine have? 57,000, and most of that is solo explicator, excuse me. Bruh. Where's they get Vex and Score new abilities? I think like the Revenant tokens might have been like their version of that for that. And the Vex got the cool little ring around their heads. I don't know. God fucking damn it. Funny thing is, the dire Taken aren't even over delivery. It was planned. Joe Blackburn mentioned faction shakeups in the article before the final shape. Well, to be clear, just because they were planned does not make them over delivery. The way I look at it is like, what do we have base expectations of versus what we get? And over delivery, as Justin Truman meant it during his GDC talk, was what we get above our base expectations. So I'm not saying like it wasn't planned or they had extra time to do it or whatever. I'm saying they could have released this episode without it and none of us would have thought twice. And I think it's really cool that even despite that fact, they still design the enemies and release them. And I think that's cool. I'm not saying that Bungie should only deliver the bare minimum. But I am saying it's not a bad thing to acknowledge the little extras that we do get and give positive feedback on that. Because I think that's the best way to ensure that we get more of that in the future.
Hit back, killer.
What did the dire Taken do for Joe's legacy? Oh, fuck. You're so right, dude. You never get that one Tolan spawn I see so often? Yeah, I pretty much always, like every time with the exception of that one time, I haven't been looking for him. But he spawns on that stage for me like a ton. Is this the only spawn for Tolan in this area? Oh, I guess he probably has one inside, but I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna spend time seeing if he's there. I have no idea why I can't get enough of the first boss expert nether farms. It's a really fun farm. It's like a good pace. It feels rewarding. It's good. I love this episode, but the voice acting is messing with me. Oh, the missing voice acting? Well, just think fuck they didn't try to AI replace it. Or just recast the voice actors like COD. How many secrets you need? Like 10? 13? My friend said Bungie actually cares about Destiny when they re-enabled contests and Sundered. And I'm like, you're wrong. That was the craziest thing I heard. What? I'm confused. Are you suggesting Bungie doesn't care about Destiny? I think you can make a lot of arguments that Bungie leadership has made a lot of questionable decisions, but I don't think you can ever question whether or not the devs care about Destiny. I think that's and even the leadership, like, of course they care. It fucking pays their paycheck, but that's like kind of a weird thing to say. Like, how many people do you know in professional fields that work on things they don't care about? That's not super common. People like to be proud of their work. and that was the first time they cared about the game. Oh, no, I don't agree with that. I do think it was a really good move. They've been slowly lowering the bar and our expectations for about a year and a half. People say this a lot. And look, I'm not, once again, like, I'm not going to sit here, and there's been obvious mistakes made with the game. But I think it's really important to, like, recognize increases in quality and things that they've done right. And if you look at, like, the progression of the amount of content we get per season and, like, the quality, there's no way you can look at me and, like, legitimately say you think what we're getting now is worse than, like, the Witch Queen seasons. There's just no way. It's I don't know, like, once again, I don't think Destiny's in the greatest state it's ever been in, but, like, the quality and quantity of content that we're getting, like, consistently in these episodes, less so Undying, but especially across the last 2 episodes in Season of the Wish and Season of the Witch, like, we get a pretty absurd amount of stuff. Lowering the bar when they made a critically acclaimed expansion 7 months ago, and also released, like, an insane update right before it with Into the Light. Like, once again, I think it's good to critically, think about and give feedback on the game and criticize things where it's necessary, but I think it is equally as important to realize, like, maybe what we're getting now is better than Black Armory in Season of the Haunted. Witch Queen's season sucked apart from the Seraph. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if we're saying, like, oh, expectations have just been lowered over the last year, so you're including in the last year, you're including, I guess, Wish isn't in that, but if you're saying, okay, Wish lowered our expectations below Haunted Plunder, what was the first season of Lightfall? Defiance or whatever, it's like, I just don't think that's true personally, but I don't know. I love Black Armory for the exotic drops on Forges. Felt like such a fun grind to me. Yeah, well, when Solstice comes around once a year, you can enjoy the Forge grind all over again. It's just kind of like, once again, I always have to take this position. I try to take the middle, which is it's a fucking lame thing to do, I know, but no one likes to switch one. But I genuinely think that it's what's best for the game, what's best for us is like praising good things and criticizing bad things. And it just so happens, due to human nature, that humans are a lot better at criticizing bad things than praising good things. So it seems like, because I'm trying to always point out both, my main disagreements with the community are when I think something was actually good, and we should say that. And that gives the impression that I'm a Bungie dick rider or whatever, when I've made 10 billion videos criticizing the game and talk shit about stuff all the time. It's just so unfortunate. I wish we didn't have that mentality. I really, I just think it's so important to point out the good things while pointing out the bad things. No scare, I believe a mode where you throw balls at a target to charge it up is better than a roguelike mode. Yeah, that's why Vault the Glass is my favorite raid, actually. I like standing still. I say you take Devil's Advocate? I really don't try to, though. Unless I explicitly say, okay, playing Devil's Advocate, I'm really not trying to. I just think the community does a really bad job. If we're constantly shitting on things, how are they supposed to know what we like? Are advanced players still available? Yes, I've just done a terrible job of advertising them. Thank you for bringing that up. Hey everyone, if you missed it, we released 2 new advanced flavors. This is the Scarrow 9 collection. Scarrow 9 Dusk and Dawn. Mango lemonade, blue raspberry lemonade. The blue raspberry doesn't have caffeine. The mango lemonade does. Everything I would make from this goes towards Red Cross, goes to charity. and they're awesome, and they're available in that link in chat. And you can use code SCARE9 for 10% off, and you should pick them up because it's a limited run, and once they're gone, they're gone. Boom. The subs are huge. Thanks, I get that a lot. And they make you 10% sexier.
Heir presumptive,
What do you think about that?
you have returned to my throne.
I can make claims like that now because the FDA barely even exists in America currently. So I can pretty much say whatever I want. Allegedly. No, I didn't, Sweeney. I will ask that, though. Can you send me, like, a message on Twitter or something? Or tag me or send me a DM on Discord, something? Just so I remember. Will advance make you into God? Escape will make you God? Advance will make you God. That's right. Very important. Two very important phrases. I don't know if I'm... Allegedly. Bro, leave me alone. I'm trying not to die here, brother. Your PvP montage popped off. It was fucking good. I hope it gets movie of the week. Blue Raspberry Dusk is fire. It's so good. I actually mixed the flavors the other day. And I was like, holy shit. Blue Raspberry Mango Lemonade kind of pops. We're almost done with the secrets. 10 more secrets. 10 more total wins or cabals. I'll hopefully have a couple of the tubs coming in this week. Let's go! Well, I appreciate you. Thank you everyone who's picked them up, by the way. And please tag me when you get them so I can thank you again. It's been a really fun project, so. In recent time, I think games like Red Dead Redemption 2 and Baldur's Gate 3 have skyrocketed gamers' expectations for all other games. It's that, but also, like, it's a mentality that, like, games failing is really cool, actually. And it's, I think that is such a toxic mentality to have. And I just cannot stress enough that, like, a game like Concord failing might be funny for the memes or whatever, but it's, like, actively bad for the gaming space. Because it means game companies are less likely to, like, take risks and invest in unique idea. Concord was not a unique idea, and I don't think it was a good execution of whatever ideas they did have. But all a game developer is going to take from that is, oh, people don't like new things, you know. And it's bad. Even if you didn't like Concord and whatever. That it only makes things worse for every gamer. Yeah, same thing with, like, Anthem. Fucking, like, we're between BioWare or Anthem and Dragon's Age. Dragon Age? Is that it? Dragon's Age? Like, we're, like, pretty close to, like, losing BioWare, and they are significantly downsized. There is not a world where that is a good thing for gamers. Yeah, once again, like, I think it's also, I can kind of see why, like, maybe the devs thought Concord was going to be, like, a unique approach or cool. Wait, what? Is it not here? Thing? But, like, also, I mean, have you guys ever made anything and you're like, oh man, this is good, and then you, like, show someone and they're like, no, it's actually bad? Or you make something and it's bad and then you show someone, they're like, that's actually good. Like, it's, like, notoriously really hard to judge a product or, like, a piece of art that you've made. And so, like, it doesn't shock me that, like, maybe they just misjudged it. You know, I definitely don't think it was the best looking thing or the most unique thing. It was very derivative all around. I think everyone agrees with that. But it failing is not. It's just objectively not good for the industry. I mean, I think the reason why Concord fails was because it was the most unoriginal thing ever. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think that was a huge part of it. Like, it was a derivative type of game. It had derivative characters. It had derivative abilities. It had a very uninteresting, I feel like, personally uninspired. Like, I think a lot of people were like, oh, it had the kind of retro 80s style. No one wants that. I definitely think that's not true, because if you look at games like, what's the new, is it Naughty Dog game? Heretic or whatever? Heretic Anthem? The fucking... Sorry, I'm really bad with games that aren't Destiny. Like, that aesthetic works. What the fuck is that shit called? Someone help me out here. The game. The game with the red sword and the spaceship. And they showed it at the Game Awards. Intergalactic? No, didn't it have like a... Wasn't it called like... The Heretic Anthem? Oh, no, that's the fucking... I forgot that was a Slipknot song. Intergalactic, Heresy or something. God Killer. What the fuck was it called? That game, like, people were immediately, like, kind of connected with that aesthetic. Intergalactic Heretic Prophet? No fucking way that's it. Is it actually? Yeah, Naughty Dog's new thing, yeah. And it's like, well, clearly that kind of retro-ish aesthetic works in some way. I think Concord just did a really bad version of it. Like, a really bad version of it. But it's like, it's still, that's not good for the gaming industry. It's not good. Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet. I fucking knew that's what it was called, dude. But it's like, it's not good for those individual people, like, losing their jobs. It's not good for, like, the fucking studio, and it's just, it doesn't set a good, look, if there's anything you need to know in life, it's that executives never take the correct message from failures, ever. Okay? Ever. Not even a single time. It's never happened ever. Fucking lab. Did you play Timefall at all? No. Well, I played a little. Actually, that's not true. I played a very little amount, I think, of Titanfall 1. I think we picked it up at, like, Redbox or something for a little bit. How close am I to this shit, bro? I think there's too much of a doomer mentality whenever a studio tries something new. 100%. And that's only gotten worse over these last couple of years. Apex has, like, probably the best movement I've ever felt in a video game. I am infatuated with Apex Legends movement. At least how I remember it during the first couple of seasons of Apex Legends. It just feels so fucking good. Apex Legends is, like, the prime example of when I say, like, a third-person game will never feel as good as a first-person game. Or, like, you know, the best third-person movement will never feel anywhere as close as the best first-person movement. Like, Apex is the clear example of that. There's no shot you could ever... I would love to be proven wrong, but there's no shot you could ever make a third-person game that feels as good as Apex. It's just... can't happen. Sorry. Now imagine Apex Legends movement, but better. That's Timefall 2. How is it better? I'm gonna need you to, like, expand on that idea a little bit. Double jump and wall running? Oh. Well, shit, bro. We all know I'm a movement kid at heart. That sounds really good. Destiny has really good movement, though. I'm glad there was a time, like Forsaken era, where they started, like, you guys remember the slow update where they nerfed shoulder charge, and I thought shit was gonna get real bad. And then I love how recently they've really, with Strand and with allowing well skating to exist and adding eager edge and skimmers, and like, I feel like they've really leaned into better movement in Destiny, and I think that's great. I think that's really good. Tried to patch out skating twice. Well, fucking don't piss off the speedrunners, bro. We'll never forget Worldline skating. To be fair, what we have now is just better. But also, yes. I think there's a very real ship of Theseus trap with game studios who were once beloved. No one person makes X game good, but if enough people leave, the old vision can go with it. I definitely agree with that, but I have to imagine that, like, so much of, like, you know, let's say like Destiny games or Bungie games always have like really good gun feel and gunplay. I think there's definitely like expertise that goes into that almost certainly like has left in the studio and stuff. But at like some point, like Destiny's on the Tiger engine or some version of it, which probably has a lot to do with the feel of that. And then also I have to imagine there's definitely like a stigma, like if you work at Bungie, where you're like, oh no, our guns have to feel this good because it's a Bungie game, So I definitely agree, like there's almost certainly like an expertise, like a brain drain negative effect. But I have to imagine that certain game studios do better at like preserving the idea of what their games are supposed to represent and feel like. And that pushes even newer people to strive for that vision harder. You know what I mean? Like it's easier to buy into if there's like a more clear vision of like what a company represents in terms of like game feel or design or whatever. Like I guarantee like fucking most people who worked on, well, I don't want to say guarantee, but I would wager that most people that worked on Starfield probably didn't work on like Oblivion and Skyrim, probably. But it feels exactly the fucking same. And I think a lot of that is probably engine or whatever. And then a lot of that's like, no, this is what a Bethesda game is, and this is what it should feel like, Make Worldline pregnant? Huh? Give Worldline permanent eager edge. I just want crafting back so I can do double eager edge again. But yeah, definitely, like, I mean, there are clearly really there's great examples of talented game designers, and there's clear examples of, like, really talented game leadership that go to different studios, and you can, like, definitely, like, trace their work. It's like music producers, you know what I mean?
Dreadnought test you, heir presumptive. Show me your sharpness.
Huh? Show me your what? Oh, worries. Really giving a new meaning to the Taken King, eh? That sounds like a lot of work paper, so I'm probably not going to do that, but thanks for the idea, though. keep whispering in my ear. That's insane. Warner Brothers shut down the studio that's making the Wonder Woman video game that's been in the works for 3 years and spent $100 million in the game and now it's canceled. Yeah, but think about the tax write-off they'll get though. David Zaslav, my man knows how to work the tax system, okay? What would be your GOAT pantheon? One where they brought back like Argos, Valkor, like old, not everything. I'm not asking for like all 7 or 9 encounters or whatever to be reworked, old like returning stuff, but it'd be sick if like 2 or 3 of them, like if they brought back like Callus, Argos, Valkor, sprinkled them in there with some new mechanics. They made Callus like the fucking disciple version or whatever. That'd be sick. If Argos came back into Pantheon, would you sell him again? If you could, yeah. What the fuck? Speaking of game leadership, but random tangent, what the fuck is Jason Blundell doing? We actually just talked about this a couple streams ago. Allegedly, according to Glitching Queen, I believe allegedly he is working on allegedly gummy bears. Allegedly. Oh, let's go, Sweeney. Hell yeah. That was the Lord Daddy's lullaby? I don't know. I don't know. But thank you for the support, and I'm sure ATP appreciates it as well. Lord Daddy's lullaby. Is that one of their sleep? Does Bife have his own sleep line? What's Gummy Bears? Gummy Bears was an incubation project at Bungie that is reportedly a MOBA Super Smash Bros. Melee combo game that when this latest round of layoffs happened, instead of laying all those people off and canceling the project, Sony took all those employees and spun it off into its own sub-studio that only now works on Gummy Bears. You probably... Can I help you, Kitty? You probably saw Jason working on Marathon and Bungie in your gatekeep. Well, Jason would be game director, and the game director of Marathon is Joe Ziegler, like very publicly. So, no.
Hit back, killer. Run him down.
New Pantheon? Well, we do know we're getting a new Pantheon next year. I would really love to see one in between now and Frontiers as well. I think it's a really great opportunity and like a good time for one, but I don't want to hold my breath. All right, garbage, calm the fuck down. Opening of Crown, Crota Abyss Conflux's second encounter, Garden, Nezrak. Why is my boy Nezrak catching strays like this? That's insane. Like, I don't think Nezrak's like the greatest encounter of all time, but holy fuck, throwing him in with those is crazy. Have we gotten a time where we're getting new info on Frontiers? No. But I would be surprised if it wasn't soon-ish. Seeing as a bunch of people just got flown out, potentially to see it. Potentially, I haven't talked to any of them. Potentially, but that would be my best guess. Potentially, so. And presuming it's coming out in July, I would expect that we get some some information very soon. Nezrak is the most poo-poo boss encounter. Is Nezrak the worst boss encounter? No way that's true. What's a worse boss encounter than Nezrak? Wait a second. Oh, fucking Garden, dog. Yeah, the fun, but The final boss of Garden. Sanctified? I'm not a real big fan. Plus the soundtrack sucks. Came up every now and again during streams. What's your favorite Bakugan? I don't remember like literally any of them. I watched it when I was a kid growing up. I could not tell you at all. What other are there? I'm going through them all. And shit. Nezarec might be second worst. If I really wanted to piss people off, I would say that Rolk was worse. The first half of Rolk is a worse encounter than the first half of Nezarec. Rolk has a better damage phase than Nezarec, but the mechanics part of Rolk is worse. Bam. 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 Hot take, Morgoth is a worse boss encounter than Nez. Morgoth is kind of mid. It's fine. It's not like a... I wouldn't call it a... Yeah, it's kind of mid. Intro to Sanctified, though, if it was just silence interrupted by that for like an hour, then yeah, I think that'd be cool. Also, double Rolk is better than single by a long way. I don't think anyone's gonna argue that. That's like such an obvious... Oh, I do think Destiny 2 Daughters is the one encounter in Destiny 2 that's worse than Destiny 1. Because you can't one-phase it. Being able to one-phase it in Destiny 1 was based and real and cool. Alpha Sabers are mid? Oh, fuck you! Your mom's mid. What the fuck? How dare you come in here and just say that garbage to me? You can one-phase it if you're a Chad? I literally just don't think you can one-phase it in Destiny 2. It locks you out, no? I think it's like physically impossible to one-phase it in Destiny 2. Unless I'm like... I'm missing something and misremembering. It has been a very long time since I've ran it, to be fair. Destiny 2 Oryx is worse than Destiny 1? I have never played Destiny 1. No. Destiny 2 Oryx is so peak compared to Destiny... Wait, Destiny 2 Oryx is so peak compared to Destiny 1. Destiny 1 Oryx is one of my least favorite encounters of all time. It has got the smallest amount of replayability, like, ever. You do it once, it's cool, and then it sucks literally every time. The Destiny 2 Oryx is very cool. Check speedruns? I might have to. Yeah, okay, if you can one-phase it, I take back what I just said. Worst boss encounter in the game is actually... Scourge? Sorry, nope. Didn't mean to say that. Grasp of Avarice. Second encounter. The Shield's worst boss encounter in the game. Checkmate. Which would you prefer, Sabres title? Or do you mean like Sabres win the Stanley Cup or World's First in a raid? What the fuck do you think? That's an insane question. There are very few things in this world I would pick over a World's First. Dungeon Pantheon, but it's the worst encounters. 2 more secrets! Sumuna is the worst dungeon boss? No. No. I'm gonna put Shield Encounter. I'm gonna put Final of Grasp actually worse than Sumuna. I don't think she's the best encounter. Like I'm not a huge fan of how long that encounter takes. But it's cool. It's got a cool set piece. The mechanics aren't that bad. It just sucks you have to do them so much. It sucks that she has so much health. But I wouldn't call it a bad encounter. I'd call it a badly tuned encounter. I don't think it's a bad encounter though. I think Harpy Boss is a worse encounter in Spire. I think is a worse encounter than Samuna. Although Final Spire's goated as fuck. I like Pit Final.
Heir presumptive.
Pit's definitely not my favorite dungeon.
My throne.
But I like that it gave different uses to the swords. It's cool. Harpy Boss is so bleh. But Final Boss, very cool. I like that encounter. I'm just salty from like the 10 times it knocked me off the map. Yeah, now that we have all of the red borders for raids, I really do hope we get a Shattered Throne and Pit of Heresy rework, and I hope they get real armor, and I hope they get cooler weapons and cool perks. I wouldn't even mind if they're craftable, to be honest, since they're so old. But I would love to get a refresh of those 2 pieces of content. Maybe some redone mechanics. I kind of doubt it, but I think that'd be cool. And give them rally banners. Goddamn truth. Yo, Inari, how you doing? I'm 100% against dungeon crafting. For old stuff, I'm not. For new stuff, I'm 100% against crafting in all new end game content. I don't mind it in old end game content as long as it's not best in slot. But I like having a reason to go back and play old stuff. I don't mind that at all. Oh, and give them titles. Neither of them have titles. That would be sick to give them dungeon exclusive titles. That would actually be really cool. Went to a concert today? Nice. Alrighty, well, I wanted to finish the Secret Triumph, and I did. I have 100 minor boons to go, and 40 major boons, I think, or something. Maybe that's supposed to be 150, I don't remember, but not too much to go, so I'm gonna call it there for now. The titles associated with the destination, yeah, but I want rework dungeon with like a specific title. I think that'd be cool. Like a Shattered title would be cool, and a pit title for Pit of Heresy would be sick. So, all right, everyone, have a great night. I'll probably see you tomorrow for 12. We'll see. Hell yeah! All right.